My mom always told me that if I didn't stop daydreaming, one of these days it would get me into trouble. Well, she was right, but not for the reason she thought. One day I was at school and I got bored in every single class. So when it was finally time to go home, I took my backpack and headed out the door. When I got home, I went to my room and started doing my homework. But all the problems seemed so easy, like this math problem is just too easy. And then I started thinking about dinosaurs again. I know they're not real, but wouldn't it be cool if they were? I mean, imagine if there was a T-Rex living in the backyard. It could be our pet, or maybe we could ride them to school. Then I thought, what if they weren't extinct and some species were still around? Maybe some live in the sewers, or maybe in the woods. There are so many places on Earth that haven't been explored that maybe, just maybe, there could be a dinosaur living in one of those places. Then I thought, what if a dinosaur was living in my backpack? I started to think about it. The backpack is huge. It has lots of pockets and compartments and zippers. A small dinosaur could probably fit inside and no one would ever know. They could even sneak out at night and go on adventures. We could have so much fun together. As I was thinking about this, I reached into my backpack to get my math book. That's when I felt something strange. At first, I thought it might be a spider, but then I felt something hard. I reached in and pulled out a small stone. Then I saw something strange. It looked like a fossil. I started to dig it out of my backpack and soon enough I had it in my hands. It was a small tooth with the roots still attached to it. I knew immediately that it was from a dinosaur. It must have fallen out when I was petting it. Wait, did I just say petting? No, I didn't. How could I have been petting a dinosaur? That's crazy. Dinosaurs aren't real. Then I heard a small voice inside my backpack. Are you gonna finish that story about the dinosaur that lived in your backpack? Of course not. Dinosaurs aren't real. You're just my imagination, I said. But as I turned to leave, I heard a loud crash in my backyard. I walked over to the window and looked out back. That's when I saw the biggest dinosaur I had ever seen. It had a long neck and was eating the flowers out of my garden. Oh my gosh, a dinosaur! I ran to the door and opened it. Then I started to scream as loud as I could, but when I stepped outside, the dinosaur was gone. All that was left was a small pile of dino poop. I knew what I had to do. I grabbed my shovel and headed out the door. I needed to find that dinosaur and I needed to find it fast because come morning, my parents would take it away and put it in a museum. I asked my mom if I could take the afternoon off from my piano lessons to go look for the dinosaur. She said sure, but you better find it, son, or you'll have extra chores for a month. I nodded and headed out the door. When I got to the park, I started digging in the dirt. But after a while, I started to get bored. I hadn't found any dino poops or footprints yet. Just then, I saw something moving behind the slide. I walked over and saw the scariest dinosaur I had ever seen. It had sharp teeth and claws and spikes on its tail. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you, I said. But then it spoke. You're not going to hurt me. You're the one who dug up my home and destroyed my nest. Well, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Can I make it up to you? Sure. Take me to where you found that dinosaur tooth. I want to see if there are more. And that's exactly what we did. And that is why my mom always tells people that her son has the heart of a hero and the mind of a scholar. Because if it wasn't for my curious mind, we wouldn't have found that dinosaur.